23, our 23rd tutorial. Alright, that was unnecessary, but anyways, now that we got all of our code typed, let's go ahead and start working in the interface. So go ahead and click on MainWindow.xib, and this is going to open your main interface file. So let's go ahead and let me rearrange everything all nice and neat, and let's go ahead and take a look at these icons. File owner, responder, app delegate, of course, a window. We're saying, alright, what we are missing here is actually a view controller, and we actually need one. So let's go ahead and add one right now. So go ahead and click on the view controller, and the icon for that is right up here. If you click on it, you can see it says view controller. That's how you know you got the right one selected. And go ahead and drag this over to the window that says MainWindow.xib with all the other icons. So now you see a little view controller pops up, and we'll be working in here later, but just move this to the side for now. Actually, what you can do is move this window out of the way and put your view controller right here, because now this is, well, I'll talk about this later on, but anyways. So now what we want to do, now that your main window has a view controller, go ahead and click on that view controller icon, and in your identity inspector, go ahead and by default this class is UI view controller. We want to go ahead and switch this to switch class. So now this view controller is the switch class. It pretty much, switch class is now the class that handles the main Windows view. So again, by adding a view controller to your main window and by changing that view controller's class to switch class, now that switch class, all the code in there is now the class that handles the main view for your program. Pretty cool, huh? That easy. So go ahead and from your library, well, what we want to do now is we want to start working with this view. I mean, since it's pretty much the main view for our program now. So the first thing we want to do is add a view to our gray window. So go ahead, and the view is right here. It's just under Windows views and bars. It's just a little white dotted with gray background. Go ahead and drag this over on view, just like this. And now we have a pretty much a blue background, and this is pretty much a view for our screen. Easy enough. So we're saying, alright, I remember you said that the only thing that's really going to be in here is a toolbar at the bottom, and I wasn't lying. Now we need to add a toolbar at the bottom. I mean, I need to keep my promise, don't I? So go ahead and select toolbar, and that's a little symbol with a button that you can't read at the bottom. I wonder what that says. Interesting. Maybe toolbar. So go ahead and drag this over on the bottom. Make sure it's lined up. Looks pretty good. And now what we need to do is, I mean, you don't need to change the button's title, but I'm gonna just go ahead and click this and put like switch views, and now deselect it and it'll pop up. So we're saying, alright, looks cool, we're done, right? No, not yet. What we need to do is actually add that action method to this button. But check it out. Go ahead and select this button, and make sure you just don't click it twice, or else it's going to double click. Press it once, and then it's going to select the toolbar. Wait a couple seconds so you don't double click. Press it again, and it's going to select the button itself. And you know when you select the button, if in the attributes it says bar button, that's how you know you select the button on the bar. So if we're saying, alright, I know how to add actions, go over to your inspector, click touch up, drag it over to files owner. No. A button is a little bit different. It only has one really thing that you can do to it. It's only touch up. So you don't go over to your inspector right here and click touch up and drag it over. This is weird, but I know. Just follow along. What you need to do is control drag it to your switch class. So once your button's selected, control on your keyboard, drag it over to your switch class, and now you see the methods from that switch class that we can use. Go ahead and select switch views, and this is the method that switches from one view to another. Again, there should only be one method in there because that's all we created aside from a couple properties, but those shouldn't pop up. So now that we added an action to that button, you're saying, alright, now I'm finally done. No. There's one more thing that you need to do, and I promise that's it for this tutorial. In order for that, your app delegate, which is pretty much the code that runs automatically when your program starts, in order to access this switch class, and remember, it needs to access this class so it can add this view to the main window. So in order for your delegate to access the switch class and add that view to the main window, what you need to do is control drag from this icon, Beans app delegate, or whatever your project name is, control drag over to switch class, and that means to access it via the outlet switch class. And now, once they are linked together and you gave it that outlet, again, like I said, it can now access that switch class. And why do you need to access the switch class? Well, to add a view to the main window. So I know that might have been a little confusing, but that is what you need to do to pretty much get everything hooked up and situated. So in our next tutorial, we're going to be building the method itself, that switch view method, to switch from one class to another. It's a I don't know. I have nothing to say. So yeah, watch that tutorial. It's going to be a good one, and we're almost done with this program. So if you have any questions, just ask me in my forum, and I'll be happy to help. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.